What if history is trapped under decades of rust? One mistake, and the frame is ruined. Seized pins will be punched out. Corroded steel will be welded. A dead mechanism comes back to life. But the transformation starts here. On the workbench, a seized Walther P38. The wire brush takes the loose scale. Manual scrubbing can only do so much. The heavy lifting takes chemistry. Water and a copper wire setup. The rusted frame goes in. Electrolysis begins. It pulls deep oxidation right off the steel. The bath did its job. The metal comes out dark and murky. A rinse with distilled water. Then back to the red brush. The loosened scale finally gives way. Hours later, the frame is dry. The pick clears the tight grooves. Time for the rotary grinder. Orange sparks fly. Bare metal starts to show. The deep clearing begins. Hardened debris chokes the internal holes. A cutting disc slices the worst of it. The wire wheel cleans the cuts. Then the magazine well. Decades of buildup. Pliers pull the rusted fragments free. The surface is open. Time for a secondary bath. The power supply dials in. Current flows through the braided wire. The reaction runs deep. Out of the tank. The frame hits the stainless tray. Aggressive scrubbing strips the oily residue. It takes force to clear the sludge. The internals are still locked tight. Pliers grip a seized component. It pulls free. Jagged fragments scatter on the wood. Clamped tight in the bench vise. A screwdriver forces the grip area. The pliers go back in. Another rusted piece breaks loose. The retaining pins are frozen solid. The metal punch drives them hard. Orange rust dust covers the steel. He probes the internal channels. finding the stubborn pins back in the vise. A few sharp taps with the punch. The final pin gives way. The teardown reveals the damage, deep pitting, jagged edges. The cleaning continues. A small screwdriver works the internal joints. Patience against the oxidation. A major component finally separates. The red brush sweeps the debris. The yellow screwdriver goes to work. More pins need to come out. Clamped over a green cloth, the punch strikes again, stripping the frame to its core. Time to shape the metal. The cutting disc hits the rough edges, switching to a grinding bit, smoothing the jagged contours. Then the drill bit takes over, clearing the bores. Structural repair. The welding torch flares, rebuilding the lost steel. He aligns a small copper strip, fitting it against the dark frame. The torch locks it in. Intense light and heat. The joint is permanent. The heavy repairs are done. The rotary tool cleans the fresh welds, clamped in the yellow vise. The blueprints map the reassembly. A final pass with the torch. The belt sander flattens the faces, hand sanding the cylindrical parts. Worn metal slowly gains a clean finish. The small components wait on the board. The hammer release gets trued. A circular motion on the red sheet. The machining leaves dust and grit. The parts go into a final wash, a shallow glass dish, opaque white cleaning solution. The red brush scrubs the frame. One last pass. He holds the frame over the fluid. The stainless tray catches the runoff. Decades of grime finally gone. The metal is bare and vulnerable. A small tool applies the lubricant. Fresh oil coats the clean steel. The pile of springs is ready. He inspects the surface. Clean, polished, ready. Tweezers drop a tiny spring into the frame. Precision replaces heavy force. The spring presses into the groove. He aligns the final components. The rusted lump from the workbench is now a working mechanism. A frame cleared by chemistry, pins machined by hand, a finish that gleams. True restoration isn't about replacing parts. It's about earning back the steel.